Welcome back, philosophers. This is Philip. Today I am very excited to be checking out the new Castlevania series on Netflix. I love Castlevania ever since I was a kid, so I'll give you my thoughts on that. But first, I'm going to be practicing some Wing Chun and doing a sweet workout. I don't know what exactly yet, but I'll see what I feel like. And I'm going to be donating a ton of my old clothes to people who need them more than me. So, let's go. Stick around. I'm actually quite a Castlevania expert, since I've loved it since I was a kid, and I'm also a filmmaker, so I think my review is going to be fairly relevant, though I'm probably a little biased because I love Castlevania. So I have like a million garbage bags of clothes that I'm actually really excited to get rid of. I'm not saying I want to be a minimalist, but so much stuff laying around, it drives me insane. So I'm excited to get rid of a lot of those and give them to people. You know, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to give away stuff that you could still technically use. You can still have a use for it, but there's people out there who don't have they don't have that option to, you know, they don't have any options actually. So it feels good. It feels good to help people out. But it's actually going to take quite some time, quite some hours, I would think. But luckily there's a Game of Thrones marathon running since the new season is going to start relatively soon, so I can throw that on. So let's go. But alright, that's all done, and it feels really good. Like I said, it's a good feeling to help someone out in need. God, it's actually really nice out. I think I'm going to do some of the Wing Chun out here because it's just too beautiful to pass up, and then I'll be in the gym for the lifting. Let's do it. That's enough of that. Let's go lift some weights. I'm feeling it. God. That's enough. Alright, time to relax and watch Castlevania. Alright, so I watched the show. It was awesome. I actually really enjoyed it. It really was a good representation of Castlevania while taking the admittedly minimalist story of Castlevania. You know, as cool as it is and all the intertwining timelines of Castlevania, it's a very minimalist story. Going into the first episode, I didn't expect it to be like that at all, but the fact that they open up with Dracula and Lisa and highlight that relationship as sort of the main driving point of the whole series, that was really cool. It was cool to get us invested so deeply with Dracula's side of the story and his, you know, sort of vengeance and love lost, you know, sentiments, and then take us over to Trevor, which is really cool. That being said, I'm going to spoil this, so you probably should click away. Spoiler warning. It was great. I would have loved a little bit more time with Lisa and Dracula to build up that relationship. I would have loved to see Alucard born, you know, in that sort of flashback, but I assume we're going to get more of that next season. I have to say the voice acting was fantastic. The subtlety and the depth that they could put into the characters was really nice. You don't get that in a lot of anime. They really nailed everybody, especially Alucard, I have to say, because Trevor, again, there's not really much to go on with the character, so I'm glad they injected a lot into that storyline, which is really cool. But Alucard, it's just like they lifted him right out of Symphony of the Night, man. Even things like Dracula's castle being full of all these gears and almost like futuristic sciences. The original Dracula story, Bram Stoker, they worked that in. It was definitely gore. It's definitely really violent. Actually, a little too violent gore for my taste, to be honest with you. But it was awesome. It was awesome to see, again, a reason why Dracula just summons the hordes of undead demons and creatures from hell itself, like an army. It was cool to see such a strong reason for it, not just, I don't know, I don't really like people, so I guess I'll eradicate them. You know, but there was a majesty, a sophistication, and a subtlety to the performances. The animation was just out of this world. It was the detail and the movement was very well done. You know, you can say a lot for the individual frames and how they're drawn and that side of the design and art style, but to see the fight choreography and the movement and the clashing of the different characters and the feeling of inertia and force and violence as swords and whips are clashing and everything, that is hard to do. And, you know, some of the best anime fight scenes, you know, thinking about Cowboy Bebop and the intensity, and Attack on Titan definitely does it. This did it too, man. And it's tough because there's not a lot of like epic battles in the beginning of Castlevania, but the final scene is a duel, and again, spoilers if you haven't seen it, leave this video, but it's Trevor versus Alucard, and what a showdown fighting off each other. It was great. And even just sort of the short interactions between Sypha and Trevor, great. So great. Like I said, the platforming's in there. He eats meat, though it didn't come out of a wall. I mean, Alucard, that's it, man. Like, it's so perfect. Again, Trevor was injected with more characterization. Alucard, he's perfect. He was too, like in the way he, you know, his delivery, his, you know, character. You could tell there's a lot of research put into the character, but it was him. Like, it's him. And when he puts on the coat at the end, and it's the old design from Symphony of the Night, that art style comes back to you. And it's just such a majestic, beautiful art style that he has like this almost pirate-looking coat, Alucard, that's so cool. Almost like Captain Hook-esque. And again, considering it's been like salvaged and put together and kind of broken apart from a movie into 4 episodes, very exciting. Considering, you know, the season 2 is going to be 8 episodes, they're going to be able to have more structure to each episode. Oh man, one of the highlights for me was when Dracula just becomes a fire. That's how angry he is. It was awesome. And you know something terrible is about to happen. And then when he goes and gives this, like, I love how it almost appears as like a courtesy, if you will. He's like, I will give you 1 year to, you know, make peace. Then you figure out it just takes him a year to summon the armies from hell itself. Like, it wasn't a courtesy. Like, he would kill them that second if he could. He just needed to go build the army. But yeah, when that castle, that actually took him by surprise, and I loved that. Because that's something I wouldn't have even thought of to include, and it was so cool. The fact that Dracula's castle moves, it's mentioned earlier when he meets Lisa, the fact that it erupts out of the cathedral and like replaces it as like this monument to, you know, evil. It was out of control, man. That blew my mind. And then there's like, it opens up and all the creatures come out of it. Like, such a cool idea. Never would have thought of that. Never would have thought of that. Because, you know, of course, Dracula's castle always appears in the games. Like, there's a point where there's like putrid, like boiling, you know, diseased water. And he has to like jump over some stuff. And it was just clearly like I just laughed out loud. I was like, this is awesome. He's platforming. It's a Castlevania level. Because, you know, as we know, the Belmonts, they don't do too well with water. We don't know why. And then there's a section where he's literally, you know, climbing on the cogs of, you know, this gigantic clockwork wheel and, you know, stuff that is just in the games. That it's one of the boss battles from Castlevania 3 when you rescue Sypha in the game. That's what happens. You fight the Cyclops and then she's there and she's turned to stone. It was just really nice how it was done. Something that they included. But yeah, daggers. He throws an axe at one point. He, you know, he throws holy water and they freeze holy water and it like, you know, splinters out and stuff. It was really cool. But yeah, so even like the sub-weapons of Castlevania are included. He does eat meat at one point. It is not meat that was found inside a wall, but it's meat. The inclusion of sort of the skeptic, downer, like, you know, negative Trevor, but also realist Trevor worked so well with Alucard, and it's gonna make for awesome interaction. The only tragedy about this, and it is a deep, disturbing tragedy and problem, is the music. It is just disgusting and unacceptable and horrifying, ironically, that they didn't include any of the music and not even the tone of any of the Castlevania games ever, actually, throughout any game system. Even for those who don't like the Lords of Shadow style, as compared, they favor the old jazzy, you know, Castlevania bits a little bit more. It's some of the best game soundtracks ever performed. I mean, it's performed by a live orchestra. This didn't have anything live. It's pretty much a synth pad, like something I could do on GarageBand in like a few hours. I mean, I know that's an insult to Trevor Morris, but I'm sorry. It says a lot about his lack of research or just his disregard for the material, the source material. I'm not sure which one it was, but yeah, just totally not impressed. It almost makes me think like they brought him in just for like this sort of pilot prologue type season last minute, Trevor Morris, because you know, it's so minimalist, and he's won like awards for like best title sequence for the Bourgeois and stuff, which has a great opening theme. So something's up here, something's fishy. I don't know. We can only hope that it was sort of a test as far as budget too, so they didn't want to hire an orchestra for something that could completely tank and be a waste of money. So I'm hoping now that it seems to be doing very well, season 2 will get at least a live performance or something. Who knows? Like I consider it almost like a pilot. The entire 4 episodes. I mean, they're very short. They're pretty much the length of an anime episode, like 23 minutes, 23 minutes. And by the end of the first season, we've just been introduced to the main characters, and we just have our sort of story laid out before us and our journey and our mission. Adding insult to injury when Dracula actually cries bloody tears. They could have played the song. Can you imagine? The fans would have lost their minds if they played bloody tears during that sequence. But I'll say this, there was actually a part where they did sort of the old school Dracula technique of not showing the kill. There's like this horrific suspense buildup of the violence, and they don't show it, and you have to imagine it, and that was good. That was really good. Even in Lords of Shadow, there were some magnificent, beautiful references to the old music. I don't know what's worse, if he did the research and just decided, not good enough for me, I'm gonna do my own thing, and not even reference this general tone or sound or jazziness. I don't know if that's worse, or if he just didn't do the research. Whatever, I'll do this last minute and not care. I don't know which one's more disturbing, but anyways, I'm hoping it was sort of phoned in, last minute thing. Budgetary reasons, of course. You're not gonna hire an orchestra with an experiment like this, but I'm just hoping that they tap into it, because I mean, they're tapping into so much of it, down to like they want to put wall meat in. Castlevania is known for its music. I mean, there are people I know that don't ever and will never play Castlevania, that like know names of songs from Castlevania. That's just like how it sounds. Like, oh, Vampire Killer, such a good song. Oh, Bloody Tears, you know, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. That's how good the music is in Castlevania. Like, I'm pretty sure some of us actually just kept playing the games because of the music. The soundtrack's good. I'll try again for the 90th time, you know? But anyways, yeah, Symphony of the Night, of course. And again, just the fact that you have a richness of the characters. Like even Alucard has, you know, the Tragic Prince, and, you know, even beginning, Bloody Tears, Vampire Killer, Heart of Fire, Aquarius. Like there's so many good songs, even in just Castlevania 3. So, you know, tap into it, man. Do it. Just get over yourself, Trevor Morris. That's gonna be it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Go check out Castlevania. I might go watch some of it again. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, if there's something, the format you might like in the future. Pretty much an experiment at this point. But yeah, if this is your first video of mine, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be happy to have you as part of the Philosophers. It's just a positive community. You can get in shape if you're a gamer. You can be artistic if you're an athlete. It's all good. It's all good.